Today we have dodgy wiring, new wiring, I try and explain wiring not very well, the Rogue 13 tester bag, and I'm trying out the Comodo workwear. Sorry. Now the trouble with this is this circuit also does the hallway and the room the other side, and I need to get feeds over there as well, and I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to do that yet. That's the joy about being an electrician. I have a multitude of problems to deal with over the next 3 days, which ranges from dodgy wiring, more dodgy wiring, and more dodgy wiring. I have 3 sections to complete over the next couple of days. The first one is this room where we've got these downlights put in, and first impressions it looks okay, but when you start digging a little bit deeper, what I found was that we have borrowed neutrals, basically an old conduit system above the suspended ceiling, and we've got the conduit itself has been used as the earth, but the earth here has now gone, no earth. And if we look here at the switch, we have a brown and a black together, the bottom of the switch, and then we have a brown in a connector block with a blue which is labelled up as a switch, as a single going in a conduit, and the red with a bit of tape on it. So that is job number 1. Job number 2 is in this hallway, and then in this final room here. Oh, I missed this to show you. Apparently in this switch, just neutrals, just enjoying neutrals. In this switch, yeah, that looks good. We're also going to do a couple of product reviews over the next couple of days, with number 1 being, it's up there, but it's the Doncaster Cables Earthshore. We're going to give that a go today and see what it's really like. Where are my cutters? I keep losing my cutters. I've lost my cutters. I know these are metal steps. I'm not working on anything live. Chill. Take my cable, and I'm using the Rumpotech on this because it works perfectly for a drummer cable. While I'm here, we'll have a little chat about this Earthshore. So this is by Doncaster Cables. What I like about the Doncaster Cables is they put chalk inside it. So when you strip it, first of all, that comes off really easily. And if you're not sure what Earthshore is, the earth is also insulated. Anyway, this cable here, this is really for like the young lads and the apprentices. All right, Sparks, I know you know what I'm doing. I'm going to label it up as feed, literally just writing feed on it in my pen that's running out. And then my other cable, I'm just going to write on it light. Some people put nicks and marks in it, I just write on it. It doesn't matter. And then tie these 2 to my rod, which I've already prepared because I've been here for hours sussing out how I'm going to rewire all of this. And then simply pull it through. Like so. So what I have here in the old existing wiring is 3 cables. And I thought it was because it was a feed in and a feed out and a switch, but it's not. We have a switch, a feed in with a borrowed neutral, and then I have 2 end of lines. One here and one here. So basically, whoever wired this is just crazy. The next thing that I'm doing is basically just fishing my cables from light to light, getting everything in place. Fishing cables on your own can sometimes be quite difficult, but if you work on your own, it is what it is. You just got to crack on with it. It's doable. At the switch, I've got a twin and earth cable, and all I'm doing here is linking it out, and I'm going to bell it out at the light fitting just to make sure I have the right cable to connect up later on. Now we have the Wago junction box made off and all these ends ready to go. You'll notice I still have 1 white cable there, and that's a switch wire which comes down into here, and I've sleeved up the switch line now. Then the feed goes through the wall. I've got it running in that conduit and into a 6 amp RCBO. So now turn on the lights. Working with earth continuity this time, so brilliant. I'm going to button this up, and that is phase 1 done. Let me show you how I've wired phase 2 of this project. Here is the consumer unit that I'm taking my feed from for this circuit. So from here, I've ran a cable all the way round, and in this case, I'm feeding the light rather than the switch. It's just the easiest way to do it in this situation. So from this light, I've then taken another feed, a loop feed, through into this room where I have a bulkhead light fitting, and then dropped a switch wire down to the switch. So we've got the feed and we've got the switch. I've also redone all the conduit in here. And then, so in order to switch this light, I ran conduit along here and down to a switch, which comes to here. So I've got a normal twin and earth, and I've got a 3-core. The 3-core is going to allow for two-way switching. So the 3-core then runs from here all the way back through the conduit, through the light, all the way back here to this switch here. This is also an emergency light fitting, which is the other reason why I took the feed straight to it. It just worked out better. It's day 3 of the 3-day project. I can't film everything. I'm working in a church, if you hadn't gathered from the stuff around me. And there's people in and out, blah, blah, blah. Quite difficult to film. But anyway, so I wanted to show the young lads and the apprentices how to wire up this two-way lighting. So just bear with me, experience sparks. So, as I explained, in this switch here, I've got a 2-core, my switch from the light down to this switch, and then a 3-core to the other switch. This is called a 3-plate wiring system. The switch wire that I've got coming down from the light, it's dead easy to remember this. This is all you have to do. Is first of all, the brown and the blue, they're both live conductors, okay? So make sure you sleeve up the blue. And I always put the brown in L1 and the blue in L2. So just keep them in the bottom. They go in the bottom of the switch. And then the 3-core, I always use the brown from the 3-core into L1, black in L2 and grey in L3. Okay, so I just keep that in that sequence of the phases, if you like, normal phase sequence. So here, L1, brown from the 3-core. In the bottom, we've got the brown from the switch live and the black, which is sleeved up in L2. And in L3, the grey and the blue, again, sleeved up. That's all you've got to do. And then at the other switch, all you need to do is remember the sequence that you wired the other switch in. So here we have the brown in L1, the same as the other switch, black in L2 and grey in L3. And then when you switch it, that turns it off. And then we go through to the other switch and it's back on. Dead easy. Don't complicate it. It's as easy as that in every single case, okay? Now I can already foresee some of the comments that are going to come through asking why I've done it in conduit and not used the loft space. There is no loft space. The church is over there and this is all an extension and it's just concrete ceilings. There's no access above whatsoever. So that's why it's got to be done in trunking or conduit, which takes me through to the next room. So in here, we have a loft hatch here, and that is for the church space. But you can see an RSJ here, a concrete beam or whatever it is. And from that point onwards, this is the extension, concrete ceilings. No access from above. Oh, the other thing I'm using for all my instead of saddles, traditional saddles, I'm using the D-line conduit saddles. So they're fire rated and they just wrap around it, the same as like what I use in the EV Ultra cable. So it looks like that, which just gives a tidier finish than all those saddles hanging over the conduit all the time. So here's an example of where that conduit wire has been extended. So you can see the live and neutral feed, and they have an earth cable there which is on the conduit. However, just because there's an earth there visually doesn't mean that there's an earth there with continuity, which is what I have tested. And there is no earth there. So don't rely on it just because you can see it. Check this out. I've never seen this was on there, and I've never seen that before. I've seen obviously the metal back boxes, no earth again, but this, never seen that before. Who's ever installed one of those? Right, all done. Light, light, light. My camera keeps flickering, so I'm going to keep this quick. Switch over there, everything's tidy, job done. Right, I'm off to Manchester, I'll see you there. I went to the Tool Fair show in Bolton. It was quite a small show actually. I didn't bother filming much because you've all seen it before, but it was good and I got some cool stuff. This has been a bit of a crazy show. I've got lots of cool stuff to show you. but I've got a 5-hour drive. I'm going to do that first. I'll see you in a bit. So what I got is the Rogue 13.0 test bag. Now, the original mega bag that the MX-1 comes in is absolutely fine, and I've got no problem with it really, but I'm always finding myself carrying in multiple bags. So at the tool fair, I went to the Velocity stand and I spotted this bag, and inside it I have had a play around with this already, and I've put all of the partitions in, and what I've managed to do is put my X1 inside it along with my Brother printer, because I'm always using this for labelling up the disc board. Inside this you get partitions. I've used some already to sort this out, and I have a couple of spare ones which are longer ones which could go like all the way through there if I wasn't using these long ones here. So the way that I've got this laid out is I've got my Mega X1 tester here, I've got the Brother printer there with a little space for a spare tape. In this top section I have this test lead, and also my longer test lead, so there's plenty of room for that. In the top corner I've got the charging cables for the X1 and the Brother printer. In this little section here I've got these cables nicely put away, and in this bottom corner I've got all of my super rod testing cables. So room for everything there, nicely laid out, I like it. And in this top pocket here I have my clips and also my long test probes. So that's nice. Then we also still have a compartment here in the front which you can put, like, I don't know, your notepads or whatever you want, or your iPad. And there's a compartment still on the front. Comes with a strap as usual. These Velocity carabiners are lovely actually. So that simply pops on there. Same on the other side. And there you have it. Everything I need inside this test bag. Now I know what you may be thinking. What about the NB50 tester bag? If I'm completely honest with you, I'm not sure what testing kit this was designed around, but I can't get all of my X1 kit inside it. I've tried it, it doesn't really work, which is why I've gone for the bigger bag. If you have the NB50, let me know what tester you're using for it, and if you've had to leave anything out. I'd be very interested to know. For me, it just hasn't quite worked. So I'm going to turn it into a little camera bag instead. There's always something else you can do with these. Anyway, the other things that I got from the trade show is some new workwear. This is Comodo workwear, which looks pretty cool. This is the jacket. Took this out on a dog walk this morning, loved it. And also I got some new work trousers. So I don't know what these are going to be like yet, but I thought I'd just show you them. They have like a durable sort of stretchy feel to them. You can see that stretch there, stretch material. So that's really nice. It's got some nice pockets, and they're almost that sort of canva, like combat trouser feel style material. So I am going to glitter these up a little bit with my logos and that later on, and I'll be wearing all of this next week, and I'll let you know what it's like. Of course, I need to say thank you to all of you amazing people who have supported my channel and me and bought me coffees recently. So that includes Zubair Ahmed, if I said that right, Tard and Kiara, and Tim Davies. Thank you so much. All of you are legends. If you would like to show a little bit of love and support, if you found anything useful in this video, here'll be a link here. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel. Love you all. See you next week.